Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Akashic Rose with Sabrina Dawn. So, it's been a little while since I made a video, so I redid this, all of this, but also I moved where it was, and I purged a lot of stuff in my closets and was just getting rid of a lot of things, and that brought up lots of energy. So I just felt like I was in a place of really just self-nurturing and self-care, and really working on some of the shadow side aspects of myself. So thank you for your patience. I've gotten a couple of messages wondering where my videos are, and I'm okay. It's just needed some downtime because I didn't want to come to the reading with my shadows in place, because I didn't want it to color um, the readings, because I was struggling with them. So it wasn't like, I was able to manage them. Sometimes, I may be in a shadow part, but I'm able to manage it. This one was just, these ones were feeling overwhelming. So just know that, Mercury retrograde in Pisces, that's good. That's very understandable. So if you're going through that, just know that you are fully supported by the angels, and just, you can just ask them to come in and balance you out. I to help you figure out how to balance yourself out, and just for their support. I did that last night, and I woke up feeling much better and able to do a reading. So I'm just so glad to be back, and I hope that you enjoy this reading and it resonates. So this is a divine. We're gonna just do a check-in with the divine masculine and get messages from him, and then we will, use the Scrabble cards and the dice to check in for numbers, okay? And also, happy 222 day. All right, so I really didn't think I was going to do a reading today, but it really turned out that I was able to, so I'm very happy about that. All right, so we're going to use The Oracle of the Mermaids by Lucy Cavendish. We're going to start off with that. So we're going to call in the angels. So I call upon all the archangels of the highest healing order for this reading. I ask that they surround this reading with their unconditional love, grace, and truth, and I ask that it flows through this reading effortlessly and with grace. Thank you, and so it is. Satnam. Okay. This is the Lucy Cavendish. Where's the divine masculine at? Oh, guys. Falling in love. Kissing the divine in another, in yourself. So I also just want to point out, I lead a meditation on Sundays, locally here. So a meditation group, and this card came out last Sunday. And also, I just want to bring out my statue that matches it. There's a mermaid embracing an angel. So what I'm hearing, that part of this is what we're going on right now, what we talked about in the beginning, which is, the mermaid is like that deep, emotions, going deep within. They can be a symbol for that. And the angels are there supporting us. So just know that you are fully supported. So that's a part of it, okay? Okay, so now the divine masculine. So the divine masculine is in a place of falling in love and kissing the divine in another, in yourself. And look how entwined. That's like that coming into balance. So what I'm also hearing is that he's recognizing and coming to a place of seeing that how in love he is with his divine feminine. And he's in the past has felt very, oh sorry, I just want to check, very overwhelmed, right? Do you see how like her energy is over him? Okay, but what I'm seeing here is that he's learning to feel the embrace, and the sun is coming through the clouds. So where he has felt very overwhelmed by the connection and his feelings for the divine feminine, I feel like he's starting to let the sun come through the clouds. He's recognizing that the divine in his connection with his divine feminine and in himself. He's embracing his emotions for her. You see how to me, she represents the divine feminine in this, but also, like I just said, like the mermaids can represent like deep emotions. So I feel like that there's two meanings in this card, is that he's embracing his deeper emotions for his divine feminine, letting the sun come in and clear out the clouds, but also it being a representation of her specifically. Okay, this is the Divine Masculine Energy Oracle cards by Flames of Alchemy. Please give us messages from the Divine Masculine. Okay, well, I will show you that in a minute. I just wanted to get two. Okay. Oh, interesting. So, okay. So we have indecision and journey. So this card, I don't know if any of you guys have read the series Mortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare, I believe it is. I've read it many years ago. It was like 6 or 7 years ago, so it's hard for me to remember if I got anything wrong. But this card always reminds me of her. And Jace, I can't believe all this is coming to me from this card, all these memories, but it's what I'm hearing. Jace is actually an angel, and Jace is actually an angel in that series. Okay, so I just feel like the masculine in this card is represented as an angel, and my statue is right here that matches this card. And here is a card representing Jace to me, and he's an angel in that series. And the covers of the books, the art is very similar to this, so that's why it reminds me of it so much. And so that might be a series that if you've read it, it might mean something to you. It might be something important for you, or you might want to check it out. It is a YA book, a young adult book, but it's really wonderful. I love that series. And then the steampunk series that followed it was really good as well. But anyways, so the Clockwork series, I think it's a trilogy. Oh, I absolutely love those. So anyways, so sorry guys, I love books. So that's the first message I'm getting, is that the divine masculine, this is something that is coming in really strong, is that, with all of these placements, that even though there's all of this mermaid and water theme going on, that he's more in an air theme. He could be an air sign. Okay, he's more of an angel at this time, or like, and so I feel like what that is representing is that he's starting to rise above those deeper emotions. Okay, and again, he could be an air sign, so that, what is that, Libra, Aquarius, and I think the other one is Gemini, but I'm not sure right now. My brain is remembering books I read 8 years ago, but not the signs right now, so we'll just let it go. But anyway, so one of the things that I'm hearing is that, yes, he's been in this place of indecision, okay, but he's in a place, and he's felt like he's been on this journey. Excuse me, guys. I think the divine masculine is having some throat chakra clearing going on, so please excuse my throat. I'm probably going to have to clear throughout this reading. So the divine masculine has been on a journey and feel like he's been walking on a tightrope. Okay, feels like he's been trying to balance himself out because of his indecision. So I feel like he's moving through the indecision to recognize that he's been on a journey of walking the straight line. So I'm also hearing, just out of, from the angels, that this divine masculine may have been having patterns that where he was in his shadow side, okay, where he was in the deep waters of his shadow side, and there could be forms, and I know the card isn't here, but I'm hearing it, so I'm saying it, like addictions or patterns of behaviors that were just very toxic to him, and it put him in a place of indecision. And now he's on the journey in the air energy, the angel energy, seeing it above, like, kind of like, eagle energy, of like looking over it and having more of a bird's eye view of the situation, so that he can learn to walk a straight line again. So I feel like he's actually in a pretty good place. Oops. This is the Magical Mermaid and Dolphins deck by Doreen Virtue. One flipped out. I'm not feeling those. Hold on one second. It didn't feel right. Yeah, this energy feels better. They just needed to be cleared again. Pay attention. Notice repetitious signs and your inner guidance as they can yield valuable information. So in this card, the mermaid is got a baby dolphin in her hand, and okay. All right, so what I'm hearing is that this is the representation again of the divine masculine. So because we're asking about him, sorry about the glare, guys. I'm trying to work with it here. So I feel like this is a representation of that higher energy, the cosmic, the divine coming in and working on the situation. Okay, and if you, I don't know if can you see like her hand is touching this dolphin, and it's got full of light and bubbles, and it's just very like divine looking healing energy. So what I'm hearing is that this is actually representation of the divine masculine. So this is the divine masculine. This is his inner child. It could also mean for some that there's an important child or children in the divine masculine's life. But right now, what I'm hearing is that he's recognizing that this hurt pattern, these these patterns, these destructive patterns that he's been in, is really coming from a place of inner child hurt wounds. But he's in a place, see how like she's healing it, so it's like there's, I feel like it's in her arms and she's nurturing it. So he's like embraced by the divine mother right now and just doing some inner work. So I don't know if you've sent, angels or divine mother energy and surrounded your divine masculine with unconditional love of the angels, the divine mother, your guides, or if you're embracing him in the 5D. So just know that he's really moving through this journey of toxic patterns and working and healing on the hurt inner child wounds. Okay, and so pay attention to the signs. For one, today's 222, so that number could mean something to you. That number could mean someone's birthday, that could be an address, whatever it is, but today can be a sign within itself. So just pay attention to the signs and the synchronicities that are going on around you. And let me just hear what they want to say about that. Actually, they're saying to pull a card. So, C melodies. Please clarify the signs and synchronicities. Card. Divine Masculine. Okay, 2 fell out. The ocean. Be beautiful, mysterious, wild, and free. I feel like that is that's representation, like that's all of the emotions. Okay, and the mermaid is learning to master it and deep go deep diving, come to the surface and just have fun and know that you are one with the cosmic, the divine, the ocean. Be beautiful, mysterious, wild, and free. And you can bring that divine feminine to your connection with the divine masculine. I do believe I forgot to say that for me, the divine masculine and divine feminine are an energy that a person is in within a relationship and within themselves, and sometimes that can change and shift too. So sometimes you can be a like very divine masculine at work and come home and be divine feminine, or be divine feminine in your spiritual practice more, and be divine masculine at home. So know that that's shifting. So for me right now, what I'm hearing is that the divine feminines in their relationship and connection, so they are the divine feminine in this part, the ocean represents that. So step into your divine feminine energy. Be bold, be beautiful, be mysterious, wild, and free. And I just heard, Don't entrap yourself. Don't put yourself in a cage. I've seen like fish traps and lobster traps. The ocean theme is getting to my mind. Don't entrap yourself. Okay. So pay attention to those signs, and with the ocean, be mysterious, wild, and free. When you let go of all of your fears, so sometimes, we block ourselves from seeing synchronicities because we're afraid to take the guidance, or we don't want to hear it. So we can block some of it, or we don't see it, or we think we can't interpret it correctly when we really can, if we just allow ourselves to be wild, mysterious, and free, and just trust. Go into that like radical trust, radical faith, and it will help you travel. Seeing the surface of the ocean is not the same as diving deep to see the coral. Okay, so they're showing me the signs and synchronicities that, there's that, like seeing them is kind of like the surface of the ocean, like you're seeing it. Okay, so now it's time to go deep down and trust what you're getting around it. You're seeing the synchronicities and the numbers and all of that for a reason. And I feel like some of the people, whether it's about their divine masculine or if it's their guides in general, I feel like some of the people watching this, that are feeling guided to this reading, are feeling overwhelmed by what it means. And what their angels are saying right now is, step out of needing to know what it means. Step out of it. Travel. When you allow yourself to be wild, mysterious, and free, you step into that, archetype, of the mermaid, and just dive deep in, and there you will know what it means. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. So if it's, I wouldn't make any big life decisions if you're first trying to figure this out, but you can do little ones and test it out, and then pay attention and think about when, if your guidance was a little wrong, or you misunderstood it in some way, go back and look at what it was about it, and how did it feel? How did it come to you? What made you think that you might have been projecting onto the um, onto the sign of in the synchronicity. So because from an emotional place. So just really just do that deep diving and do the work, because that's how people learn to trust their guidance and the numbers and the synchronicities more and more, is just by working with it and not being afraid to make mistakes and doing that journey and that travel. And it's kind of interesting that that's coming in for the divine feminine, and the divine masculine is in a place of journey as well. Okay, this is the Secret Language of Color cards by Ina Siegel, or Siegel. I'm not quite sure how to say her name. Okay, there's this one. Sapphire. Oh, that's a blue color. Regenerate your body. So the divine masculine is in a place of okay, I just heard so many messages from this card. Okay, so there's sapphire, regenerate your body. This beautiful blue color which is like representation of the ocean, but I'm also hearing this is representing the sky. Blue skies, the sun coming out and clearing the sky and having a blue sky. And then I started to hear the song Blue Skies from the Allman Brothers. The Allman Brothers band. I'm going to put a link to that song in the description box. Also, there's a song that's also coming to my mind that I'm hearing both. It's amazing. So also from my favorite band, Blue October. So which is the color blue, but they have a song called Blue Skies, and his daughter's name is Blue, and he sings this whole song about calling on blue skies and how she makes him happy and stuff like that. So I'm going to put the link to that one in the description box if you want to hear that as well. But the first song that I heard was the Allman Brothers song about You're My Blue Sky. Okay, I can't sing You're My Sunny Day. You're my blue You're my blue sky, my sunny day. Something about how when you make my sun, you bring out the sun when you look my way. I just totally bashed that so I could totally destroy the lyrics to that song. But I'm gonna link it below with I'm gonna try and find a lyric video. But it really is fitting for this reading and especially this card. So I feel like this is where the divine masculine is at. It all comes back to here. He was in a place of indecision. He's on a journey of travel of moving forward through the deeper emotions and some of his shadow side that's kept him away from the divine feminine through healthy communication, through any communication at all. And he's working on that inner child, which is probably why the blue skies is coming up as well, the for Blue October, because that's like it's all about to his daughter and working through the shadow side, and that daddy's going to be okay. And um but so there's like multiple songs here. There's multiple signs to this card. So the first message is about the divine masculine, is inner child work, which goes to the blue sky song by Blue October. Okay. And then the second one is for the divine feminine, which is pay attention to the signs and synchronicities in your inner guidance, because this is giving you very valuable information, and to dive deep into that ocean, deep within yourselves, to be wild and free around it, and be because when be mysterious, wild, and free, because when you become one with that energy, you'll be able to understand and travel deeper to understand the signs and the synchronicities at a deeper level. Instead of being in a mind place about it, you're going to be able to be in that beautiful journey of the ocean and be one with it. And then the song Blue Sky by the Allman Brothers, I feel like that is like the song theme for this reading, coming from the divine masculine towards the divine feminine. So again, I'm going to put the links to both of those songs. Okay, I just want to hear, because this went a completely different way than I was expecting. Wasn't expecting it, the divine feminine messages now. So let me see what they want me to do. They changed everything up on me, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna pull. This is a healing mantra deck by Matt Kahn. Okay, so we're just gonna pull a healing mantra, one for the divine masculine and one for the divine feminine. So I'm pulling for the divine masculine at this time. Oh, they both came out, and I'm hearing, okay. So the divine masculine, polishing my heart. Feeling is a power that helps me heal. So he's been in that feeling place, but he's been feeling and stuck in that shadow side. So he's learning to polish his heart, right? Seeing it from a more of a bird's eye view, instead of being lost in the tsunami of waves of the emotions. Feeling is a power that helps me heal. So he's starting to recognize that his emotions can be a turning point for him, instead of being overwhelming. Okay, let's see if you guys can still see the card. So that's for the divine masculine. He's in a place of polishing his heart, and that's what this card, that healing mantra is for him. So we can just surround the divine masculine in that beautiful blue light of polishing his heart, and that he's, in support of him working through his emotions. And then we're asking the angels to also surround the divine feminines, the viewers of this reading, for allowing appreciation. Oh, I'm getting a lot of messages on this. The value of my life increases each time I appreciate everything in it. I'm just going to read that one more time. The value of my life increases each time I appreciate everything in it. And this feels very much like the Wheel of Fortune to me, and just recognizing that life is about cycles and appreciating those cycles and going through it and seeing the truth and the light within all of it. Okay. But also, I'm seeing like, dandelion wishes, and making wishes and being in that place, that hopeful freedom place, and just bringing back in that inner child within yourself. Do you see how the divine masculine is doing inner child work? And I'm getting the message here about doing the inner child work, and be that divine feminine, that inner child that makes wishes on dandelion roots, flowers, I'm sorry. Okay. But I'm also hearing that, appreciating the divine masculine coming into your life, and all of the lessons, the good and the bad, the beautiful and the ugly, appreciating it all of the cycles, all of the spokes in the wheel, appreciating each and every one will help you come to a higher balance within your connection and within yourself for all of your life. And you can see a transformation the more that you allow this appreciation to be there. I haven't seen it on my YouTube account, but I've seen it in others where people make comments and they just rip apart the divine masculine. They just rip him apart. They and that always breaks my heart, because that energy is harming the connection in the divine masculine and the divine feminine so much, and it's just not a healthy energy to be in. So the more that you can allow your appreciation, I mean, it's a normal place to be in, to have those shadow moments, right? But to constantly be in it and talk about it is really hard. So it's okay to have those feelings. It's a natural part to have those feelings, to be ungrateful for something that's really troubling you, but to move through that and allow that appreciation to come in, and to allow each spoke in the wheel of your connection. I feel like that's the guidance for the divine feminine. I'm hearing to pick one of these cards for the divine feminine as well. Oh, wait. And look at, guys, I was looking down and was told to bring this card up too. So wait. Don't rush into action right now. Bide your time for better results. Expressing free will. My choices determine how brightly I shine. Again, look at the spokes. Okay, how brightly you shine. So the more that you allow appreciation, the more that you're going to be expressing your free will from a higher place, and allow yourself to brightly shine within this connection, but in the world in general. And the guidance right now from the angels is to just wait. So don't rush into any action right now around your counterpart. So if you're wanting to reach out, or wanting to rush to him, wanting to pull him back in some way, or for him, okay, this is what I'm hearing. You may want to in some way get the divine masculine's attention, whether it be social media, texting, calling, letters, whatever it may be. I'm hearing you don't need to get his attention, because whether he's running from you or in it with you, you're still there and you're always present. There's no reason to rush anything. Be in that divine timing. Express your free will to wait. You don't have to be chained to your emotions and to your need. Do the inner child work. So the divine masculine and the divine feminine are mirroring each other with the inner child work. So go in and figure out which part of your inner child, the hurt inner child, wants to reach out and to control this, wants to, reach out and actually use their divine masculine energy within them to try to control the situation in the way they want. And I'm also hearing, just as a heads up and just as a understanding, that when you reach out to your divine masculine with divine masculine energy, it actually depolarizes him. So yes, there's all of the running, and he's gonna, he's gonna run even further because of the energy. But I'm hearing there's also a depolarization within the energy of the masculine and the feminine, and that's definitely not gonna make him feel more attracted. So open up your mysterious, wild, and free divine feminine within yourself. Take care of yourself so that you can brightly shine. And just wait. Wait for the right time. I'm not hearing that right now is the right time. So just take a deep breath with me, and you can just ask the angels, angels, please help me get in touch with divine timing to surrender and to trust and to heal my inner child. Archangel Gabriel just stepped forward and just said that you can call on Archangel Gabriel specifically to help you with that inner child work, and then Archangel Raphael for the healing of it and working with it. Okay, Archangel Gabriel is wonderful for working with children, so as well as Archangel Metatron, but Gabriel is the one that stepped forward. So for communication, so Archangel Gabriel is also for communication. So if you're wanting to communicate, I'm hearing do it in the 3D, and you can work with Archangel Gabriel to communicate with the angels, but also with your divine masculine in the 3D. And try not to do it too much, because you don't want to be, you really want to work on your inner wounds and your inner child that has you wanting to reach out and control the situation, because for some reason this makes you feel out of control and uncomfortable. It's okay to sit in those emotions and wait and heal, because that's what's best for you. Which means if it's best for you, it's best for your twin flame journey. Okay, so now we're going to get some initials and some numbers. And what we're going to do with that, and then we're going to get messages, okay? Okay. Oops, I knocked one over. I'm just going to put it back. No, that was actually a 2. So there was, yeah. Okay. 66122. I believe that was it. One of them got knocked over. So it was either 1 1 or 2 2. So just okay. I don't know if you can see that. So it could be so 2 2. Today is February 22nd. Today's the 22nd. Okay. Today's 222 in 2020. So this is also 6 and 6. So it could be that it's June 2nd, January 6th, actually, which is my birthday, June 1st, February 6th. This could be an address, the number for an address. This could be an anniversary date, birthdays. Okay. Now we're going to get some letters. And then after that, we're going to get messages from the divine masculine. So if these numbers and these letters don't resonate in any way, but the messages did, please don't discredit this reading in the messages that you got just because initials or numbers weren't in there. This is just, if they're in here, it's just an extra. P and I. Oh, this is a blank to be able to make whatever you want. So if it's Paul, you could, put his middle initial or last initial there. Or if his middle or last name starts with P, you can always put the first initial. But that's kind of like a wild card that you can put whatever initial you want. The T just flipped over, but it didn't fall out, so I'm not going to go searching for it. But just know that T wanted to come out. O, S, so it could be that if only half of this resonated, it could be that, for the people with T's, that this is like a, that it, that it wanted to come out, but for some reason, it could be that anybody, okay, yes, so that's it, sorry guys. Anybody that has a divine masculine with the letters T, or if that's you, the divine feminine that starts with a T. What I'm hearing, and it could be first, middle, or last. Oh, the lights just flickered. That was really weird. So this is a message. So what I was about to say is that the throat chakra, so it could be that you're having a hard time expressing yourself to the other. So that could be that divine masculine is really working through that throat chakra. That's what that clearing was in the beginning. And then we have all this blue that's popping up and the light shimmered there. So the divine masculine, the divine masculines with the letters T, especially could be having trouble shining that light on communication. Okay, and that could be why Archangel Gabriel also stepped in. Okay. Okay, L. C. So it's Piosckle. And then the wild card, anything that you want. I'm hearing to just pull a couple more. Let's see if the T comes out. Oh, look it, guys. It did. TY. So this divine masculine wants to be heard. He wants to be seen. He's going to be coming. Okay, but he's struggling with communication right now and throat chakra and expressing himself authentically out into his world. So if this divine masculine is in some type of third party situation, it doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be work. It could be family situations. It could be obviously another commitment to another person. But if he's having a hard time, what I'm hearing is that this divine masculine, whether it's at work or anywhere else, is having a hard time expressing himself authentically out into the world, but he's working through that. So he had trouble a few minutes ago, and now he's coming out of his own free will. And I also saw the T again. So I feel like people with T, the divine masculines or divine feminines with the T, this is a strong message for you. But either you're working through it as the divine feminine, if your name starts with the T, or your divine masculine starts with the T, is working through that. And then there's Y. Okay. Maybe your name starts with a Y. See the, sorry guys. We're just going to call it Archangel Gabriel and surround the divine masculines and the divine feminines that resonate, whether there's a T involved or not, but the T could be an extra confirmation. The divine masculines and divine feminines that are struggling with communication. In the 3D, especially. But even if it's in the 5D. Whoa, see, like, this is, okay. All of the cards just fell out. I mean, like just fell out into a big pile. Okay. And then what was left were MM, Mary Magdalene, right? It could be a W, but Mary Magdalene, me. So it could be that the representation of Mary Magdalene is here for you, and that's you as the divine feminine. So you can call on her for help. There's also H and a T, another T. So what I heard when all of these cards just fell out like this is that the divine masculine, especially the ones with the I feel like that sometimes they struggle with communication because they don't have boundaries around their communication, and when they do talk, it's like blah, and everything comes out, and then they feel very vulnerable and want to run. So they tend to either be in either opposite. So either they talk too much and say too much, and that scares them, so then they actually stay very silent because they don't know how to balance that yet, and that's what they're starting to come into. Okay. All right, so MMEVLEPIYDTYHTCK, and then the wild card. All right, so now we're going to pull messages. I just want to see where we're at for time. Okay, we're good. We're good, guys. We're good. Okay, so we're going to use a message from your twin by Happy Soul Coach. We're going to use Divine Masculine Messages by Awakened Twin. And we're going to use Enchanted Embrace by Cherry Enchantress. Okay. It's not the right time yet. Remember the weight card, guys? So the divine masculine. So the angels were saying for the divine feminines to come in and wait. And now the divine masculine's coming through and asking you, like, he's not asking you to wait, but he's letting you know that the time just isn't right yet. Oh my goodness. I'm seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities, and that's the pay attention card to the signs and synchronicities. So that's a part. I'm glad that he came through and put this in, because that's something that I missed in that card. He is seeing those signs and synchronicities as well, and he's learning to interpret them. He's learning to dive deeper with them instead of just going like, oh, that's weird, or rolling his eyes, or just completely missing them completely. He's starting to see the deeper synchronicities and the deeper meanings of life when he sees them. That's beautiful. I'm glad that came through, because I missed that. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm loving the messages today. Let me be your wings. Oh my goodness. The divine masculine here is represented by the angel in my statue, and in there, in that air energy. And by this card here, which was Jace in the Mortal Instruments. Let me be your wings. He wants to step into his power so that he can be there for you. Okay. So what I'm hearing is that, okay, this is a deeper message that I wasn't getting from the cards. Okay. So what I'm hearing is that this divine masculine, you guys, oh, and the light is going again. Do you see that? Divine masculine. Oh my goodness. So the divine masculine, I feel like that is representation of the sun wanting to come through and clearing out the clouds, the light flickering like that right then and there. Let me be your wings. Let me help you navigate and see above all of this situation so that you can have a bird's eye view of the journey, instead of just being lost and tumbled around this deep ocean of emotions. But Jace, and I forget her name right now, Claire, I think. So I can't remember her name right now, but the female protagonist in that story, they're like twin flames. They're from different worlds that just come in, and they just they're so attracted. Their story is actually very twin flame like, and I never even realized it until now. So when you guys first connected, I feel like this divine masculine was very protective of you. He was also a support. Could have had like a little bit of the hero archetype going on within him. And then he started to realize that he was hurting you more than helping you. And he pulled away. And he wants to be your wings again. He wants to be your hero again. He's still moving through some of that archetypal energy and working through that and coming to a higher place with it, but he started to feel like he wasn't the hero, he was the villain of the story. And again, we're talking about like the Mortal Instruments, which has like 6 or 7 books. I'm hearing that this is a story, this is a journey, and there's multiple books, there's multiple chapters with multiple books. So there's that cycle coming in again. And he's coming into a cycle of wanting to be your wings and wanting to have that deeper connection with you again. All right, so let's see. I dream of you all the time. So it's not the right time yet, but I dream of you all the time. This one, okay. Okay, that 3 fell out. Okay. There is a place. Will you meet me there? The dream time, the signs and synchronicities, the 5D. This all seems like a fantasy, an illusion. So this divine masculine he might not know what twin flames are, or he didn't until he met you, and it all just feels like, like a fantasy book, like the Mortal Instruments, right? It just seems like this big fantasy, something. This connection feels like something somebody wrote up. That if he were to write a book, it would be like that. It all seems too good to be true and too hard to be true. Our mental synchronization can have but one explanation. You and I were meant to be. Let that sink in for a minute. That's where he's starting to learn and come into balance about in that communication, and he wants to express this to you. Okay, one more card. Oh, one more wanted to come out. I am still learning who I am. So he has to learn who he is so that he can finally learn what this connection is and what it means to him and where it fits into his life. Okay? But he's doing a great job, and he is full of love for the divine feminine. And for you. So he wants to meet you in the 5D. And he dreams of you all the time because it's just not the right time yet. But then the signs and synchronicities come in and remind him that this connection is meant to be. And then he knows that he wants to be your wings again. Like all the fantasies and all the movies he's watched. But overall, he has to learn who he is in this connection, who he is in his life, in order to be in the connection in a way that you deserve, so that he can be your wings again. Because otherwise, he's been tumbled around in the deep waters of this connection. But he's learning to fall in love with this connection again. He's learning to fall in love with life again, and he's learning to fall in love with himself. That's how he's starting to learn who he is. And to let go of those patterns that kept him holding on tightly to his numbing patterns. And the divine masculine and the divine feminine are in a time of mirroring. So know that you're going through similar inner child work and learning who you are. And that's what the twin flame journey is about. It's about it being a journey. And try not to have the destination focus, which is, union. Because once you're in union, you're still going to have all of these patterns and all of this stuff bubble up. It's not going to be a fairy tale, a book where it's nice and easy and you could just turn the page and get to the next chapter, or jump ahead and read the end of the book, like my friend does. I don't understand why she does that, but she does. And read the ending. You have to move through it and go through it and be on that journey, and just do the work. Okay? All right. So just know that I am thinking of you. I am wishing you all my love. Happy 222 to you and to my divine masculine, and to all. All right, to the collective. All my love. Mwah.